Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, este es.
You know there's a girl crying on your doorstep.
I executed her husband.
What? You killed him?
No, not like that. It was done lawfully. She knew you had it coming.
So then, why?
Folk would like to drive her out of town. She has no one here. For a while, I thought I could take care of her, but it wasn't to be.
Why?
Do you really have to ask? I can't even go to the tavern for company, and no one would sup their ale with me. And when I die, they'll probably push me into a hole with a stick so as not to touch my corpse.
Is it really that bad?
I'm not complaining, mind. It's a well-paid job, if you don't mind being a pariah. They might look sideways at you, too, just for talking to me.
And that's what she's afraid of?
Exactly.
Doesn't that crying girl have any kin?
None she knows of, poor lass. You could help her, though, if you wanted.
Me? How?
Elishka has no family, but her husband might still have some kin. Nobody will talk to me, but you could find out more.
Why do you want to find her family anyway? Don't you want her to stay here?
I do. She's a splendid woman, but I'd never want to keep her here against her will. The life I lead isn't for everyone.
What would she have to put up with if she stayed with you?
A lot. I can't deny. Most of the townfolk wouldn't give her the time of day, at least not in public. If we had children, it would be even worse for them.
That doesn't sound like a very happy life.
It's not all bad. It's a well-paid job and even respected in a way. And when someone needs a bone set, all of a sudden they forget your reputation.
If there's any family.
Try asking Elishka herself. She knows a thing or two about them. But, in the end, you'll still have to go and find out something from the bailiff, or from the records at the rat house.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
My thanks, if only for the thought. Where else would you go?
Any...
Herman sent me.
What a way to end up.
Don't despair. It could be a lot worse.
Only death could be worse, and I'm not far from it.
Can I ask about your family?
What do you want to know?
Don't you have any kin left? Someone who'd take you in?
No. They all died of the plague. And then I ended up with that man of mine. I always knew he'd get strung up one day.
Didn't your husband have any kin?
Maybe. He mentioned some, but we never went to see them.
Is that all you know?
Yes. But if they're anything like my old man, the bailiff and his catchpolls will know about them.
That's all I need.
Yeah. 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 God be with you, Henry. My respects to you.
Are you here on account of the water carrying?
Yes, I am. My name is Vincent.
Nice to meet you. I'll ask a few questions and we'll see. Alright?
Fine. Ask away.
What did you do before this?
I work for my father.
Doing what? Who's your father anyway?
He was Moy Moy. We had a farm near Scarlet.
Really? His farmhands came to the tavern a lot, but I never saw you there.
I don't go to taverns.
So you're probably here about carrying water, right?
I want to carry water.
That's all? Nothing more to add?
That's what's needed, ain't it?
How are you holding up?
Well, I'm alive.
Not talking to me?
But I miss my father. And the farm, too. But Ma says there's no use dwelling on it.
Not talking.
Life must go on.
Norman Reedus.
You just going to pretend I'm not here?
What happened with Bailey? He couldn't get a word out of anybody.
I don't know. I didn't talk to him at all.
Hey, am I invisible or what?
And what would you give me if I put in a good word for you?
I've got nothing to give.
Come now. You say you want the job, so prove it to me.
Invisible or what?
Mother told me I should go and help. If you don't want my help, fair enough.
You just going to pretend I'm not here?
That's enough for now.
May the Lord watch over you.
¿Qué pasa, Chus? ¿Cómo va?
You're interested in carrying water?
I am. It's about time something good came to decent
¿Cuánto
folk.
tiempo?
I agree. Now, I'll ask you a few questions.
What? But I want the work. I deserve it. Keep your questions for good-for-nothings.
What makes you so deserving? How did you make a living before this?
I was the owner of a mine.
Ya lo veo, ya.
Well, I had a lease on it. But in our line of work, it amounts to the same thing.
The chief, eh? But have you ever hauled a bucket of ore up a hill?
There's no hill in a mine. Just a shaft with a winch.
It's hard work carrying water.
So is taking care of a mine.
It's not quite the same thing, is it? You need brawn to carry water, not brains.
I wasn't born a mine owner, you know. I've done my share of hauling.
There's also the option of, emptying latrines.
Are you trying to insult me? That's no job for a decent Christian.
True. That's why it pays double.
Double? Oh, that's not bad. But for a man of my stature, no doubt there are more needy souls. Double.
How are you holding up in Ratai?
Not too well. I've tried offering my administrative abilities at the rat house, but the bailiff treats me like a peasant.
He's not an easy man to deal with, true enough. But if you show him what you're capable of...
Well, if he gives you a chance to show him.
But the bailiff complained he couldn't get a word out of you.
I refused to talk to him. Last time I did, he was vulgar, shouted and threatened to whip me. And then he comes and interrogates me.
Well, I can't see how that would put you off him. What would you give me if I put in a good word for you?
So that's how it is it? An honest person can't get a job. Only one who stooped to bribing?
Come now. I just want to help, but I'll have my job cut out persuading the bailiff to take you.
All right. I don't have anything, but I know the armourer in Sasau. And he'll
Mira,
give you
este
a good
me
price if
interesa.
I have a word with him.
Cheap armor might come in handy, all right? Done.
Done. As soon as I get the job, come and see me, and I'll tell you all about it.
Es suficiente. Eso
That's
me
enough for
interesa.
now.
My respects to you.
You hear about the water carrying?
I can hold water all day long.
So, do you want the job? There's plenty of other folk that will take it if you don't.
I do. I want it. What do I have to do?
So tell me, what was your trade before?
I was a miner, then a farm laborer, then I was a servant, then I fled from Skullets and ended up here.
Quite the fat totem, aren't you? Was none of those jobs good enough for you?
I liked them all, but they were always sending me to do something else. Pickman, they'd say. Leave this and go and do that.
Pickman. That's your name?
Actually, my real name's Vass, but they call me Pickman.
Is that German?
No, it's from when I was in the mines, digging with a pick.
So tell me, what was your trade before?
I was a miner, then a farm laborer.
Quite the fat totem, aren't you? Pickman.
Actually,
Is that German?
no.
So you're keen on carrying water?
I've been keen on it since I got up this morning.
And you had another job before this morning, or what?
No. I was just joking.
Besides water, you could carry... You could empty latrines.
What? Carry shit? That'd be a new one for me. No, it's not a thing I'd go around boasting about.
How are you holding up, anyway?
What can I tell you? I've seen better days for sure.
What happened with the baby? You couldn't get a word out of anybody.
That peacock, what was strutting up and down and shouting at everyone? He told me he'd no time to listen to a buffoon like me. So I shut my mouth.
Well, I could put in a good word for you, but you'll have to scratch my back, too.
Fair enough. Show me where it itches.
No, you dolt. It's just a saying. Like I do something for you, and you do something for me.
Ah, right. I see. Well, as it happens, I've got something great for you. Treasures you wouldn't dream of.
Treasure, you say? Right, you've got my attention.
I see you're a smart man. A man who knows a thing or two about the world. I've got... Wait for it. I've got a piece of the Queen of Sheba's sword.
Never heard of her. Who's she?
She was a great queen in ancient times. She gave Solomon a sword with magical powers.
Magical, eh? You shouldn't believe everything you hear.
No, it's true. It's in the Bible. And this sword, once it's put back together, nothing can stop it. It can cut through bones, teeth, even the steel and stone.
I see. But you've only got one piece. What's that good for?
I couldn't get it all. The fellow I bought it off didn't have the rest. He sold off bits and pieces. They've got powers of healing, you see? And put strength in your... you know... manhood. What do you say? Deal?
We'll shake on it. I'll get you the job, and you'll give me the piece of the Queen of Sheba's sword.
Agreed. Take care now.
God be with you.
You're one of the people interested in work?
Well, Alex told me that I'm supposed to ask about a job carrying water.
That's right. But first, I'll ask you a few questions. You are...
Peter. But everyone calls me Rock. There was more than enough Peters in the mines. And not just in the mines. So...
At the mines? So you're a miner?
That's right. I worked in the East Shaft. And I hope I'll be working there again. Now that I think of it, have you heard anything from their lordships? When will they open the mines again?
I have no idea what their lordships plan to do about it.
All right. I just thought you might have heard something.
How are you, Henry?
How badly do you want to carry water?
Well, right now there doesn't seem to be much work around for miners. And at least I can earn a few groschen.
It's not easy work, though. It's a long way to carry water.
Do you think it was easier in the mines? Digging through rock on your knees all day for months on end?
There's one more option. Carrying shit.
What? For the knacker?
It's a job.
But what would people say? I need money badly, but I couldn't go back to mining after that.
But it would be twice the pay.
The money would help, true enough. What about afterwards? I don't want to be carrying shit all my life.
Look at it this way. You'll earn double the money in the same time, or the same money in half the time. That's not bad, is it?
Well, you have a point. I could get it over and done with quickly, and... All right, I'll take it. I suppose it won't kill me.
Good. I'm sure you won't regret it. How are you holding up?
You mean this here? Well, I've got feeling back in my arm again.
What happened to it, anyway?
That time in Scarlet. I was knocked down by a horse, but it's better now.
But can you handle carrying water? It's no easy matter.
Sure I can. Like I said, my arm's fine.
The bailiff said he couldn't get a word out of you.
Well, he's not the most popular man around here, after everything that's happened. You can't blame us.
Maybe, but if you lot had just talked to him, I wouldn't have to run around dealing with this, and you'd all have a few groschen by now.
You might be right. But there's no point crying over spilled milk.
What would you give if I put in a good word for you?
Good work.
Sure. If I put in a good word for somebody to the bailiff, then that someone has a better chance.
But I haven't got a pot to piss in. I lost everything, and I'm in debt too. But I might know about an opportunity.
Oh? What kind of opportunity?
I heard about it at the mine, before Scarlet was raised.
So, what did you hear?
They found something they wanted kept a secret. There weren't any rumors about a silver scene, but what else could it be?
The punishment for stealing the king's silver is hanging or burning at the stake.
I know, but you can't be burned for stealing silver nobody knows about.
That's enough for now.
Take care now.
Good day, Henry.
Hey, am I invisible or what?
What do you want?
I want to work. And I heard you're the one in charge of giving out jobs, not the bailiff.
It's true. Do you know how to cook? If you know how to make food for nobles, then I might have something for you.
Where would I learn to cook food for nobles? I want to carry water.
But Alex has already picked people who want to carry water.
He didn't ask me though, so I came here myself.
Look, I already have more people than jobs. You're a bit late.
But I really need a job.
But so does everyone else around here.
None of them has a husband on his deathbed.
He's dying.
He's badly wounded. So poorly he's been in his bed for weeks. Unconscious most of the time.
Sorry to hear it.
I already owe the apothecary a small fortune. And he won't lift a finger for us now.
What did you do in Skalitz?
I was at the silverworks, roasting the ore and washing it. My husband was at the smelter.
Oh, Christ, things got very ugly there. I suppose that's where your husband was wounded? It's a miracle you managed to drag him all the way to Ratai.
What else could I do? Leave him there?
All right, I'll think about it and talk to the bailiff.
And you'll tell him to take me, right? Good luck then.
God be with you.
You're here about the water carrying?
Hey, where do I get some pay?
Hold your horses. We haven't decided yet who gets the job. I have to ask you a few things first.
What for? I can handle the job. But ask away.
What trade did you do before?
I worked in the mines, at the winch. You've heard of Thunder, the winch, right? Strong as a bull.
Ah, the name sounds familiar. You were one of the new miners, weren't you?
I was. I came last autumn. The winter was mild enough to work the mines, and I showed everyone I was a hard worker. So do I get the job?
We're not finished yet. Are you here because you want to carry water?
Well, I'd rather be back in the winch. Turning it so fast I make everyone's head spin. But now
Marta
I
Maria.
carry water with this, since there's some money.
Well, there's also the option of carrying, shit.
Not a chance. I'm not carrying any shit around. And if anyone tries to make me, I'll break his legs.
And what if I told you that you'd get double the pay?
Didn't I mention something about breaking legs?
You did, but more money?
I wouldn't be under the winch anymore. More like under the stench.
And how are you holding up?
Not very well, I'll tell you that. I help out with something every once in a while and get some money for it. But it's not enough. Especially when the dice don't fall in favor.
Sure. And have you tried looking for other work?
What for? They'll get the mines running again, and I'll have a real man's job.
And what about soldiering? That's real man's work, isn't it?
It is, and I'd be good at it. When I land a punch, you'd think you were kicked by a horse. Which I once showed to a soldier I fell out with over a game of dice. Only, I'm too smart for soldiering.
No doubt. I heard you lot don't want to talk to the bailiff.
I don't know much about that. The others didn't talk to him, so I kept my mouth shut as well. That's the way we do it in mine. He didn't even really ask me anything anyway. Just mumbled something under his breath.
What would you give me if I recommended you?
What could I give when I don't have a pot to piss in? All I have is a strong arm.
Whenever I hit anything or anyone, they stay hit.
Well, if I get you the job, will you show me how to really hit someone hard?
I could. Deal.
Deal. I know everything I need.
So, can I go carry water then?
Not yet. I'll tell the bailiff and he'll choose.
Well, I hope he chooses me. Otherwise, I might be very angry.
If you think I'm afraid of you, you're mistaken.
We'll see. Take care now.
Good day.
Do you know Eliska? The wife of the man who was hanged recently?
The one that's with the executioner now.
That's her.
Life can be cruel sometimes.
Right. And do you know if she has kinfolk somewhere around?
How should I know? Now, if you don't mind, I'm very busy.
If Eliska stays with the executioner, it'll end up being your problem anyway.
Christ, oh, all right then. Tell the scribe.
Where can I find him?
He's suffering with some ailment, so no doubt he'll be lying in his chambers above his study, on the top floor of the rat house.
May the Lord watch over you. I know everything I need to know to pick the carriers.
Splendid. I'll be glad to get this damn business off my back. So how have you decided?
So, how do we do this? Do I just give you their names, or should I send for them?
Just tell me their names and whether they should carry water or something else. Don't worry, I'll send for them.
Tonda. They call him the Winch.
The Winch? Ought to be good with a bucket anyway. What's he going to do?
To carry water.
So we have one person to carry water. Who's next?
Cornelius.
Ah, Cornelius. I had him here once looking for a job. Where do you want to put him? I'd like to see him with buckets of shit.
Carrying shit.
Good. One person for this job. Next.
Vassis. Goes by the moniker of Pickman.
Pickman. I hope he doesn't have a history of pickpocketing.
No, no. They call him Pickman because he worked in the silver mines, and he was very keen with the pick. So much so, he managed to chop off 2 of his fingers.
Well, he can't do too much damage with a bucket, I suppose. Where do you want to put him?
Carrying shit.
Good. 1 person for this job. Next.
Antonio.
What? A woman?
Yeah, is that a problem? You never said it had to be only men.
I didn't, but I kind of assumed it would be clear. It's a long walk with a heavy load, man's work.
She can handle the job. Have no fear.
Let's hope so. You'll have to answer to me if she can't. Where do we put her, then?
To carry water.
So we have 1 person to carry water. Who's next?
Peter, better known as Rock.
Peter? Rock? Didn't he get into a fight and injure his arm? Well, what should he do?
Carrying shit.
Can't be done. We've already got enough people for that. Now what?
Carrying water. That's it.
Good. All decided. Now about the cook's job.
Take care.
All the faithful departed through.
I asked around in Sassa. Father Francis is doing well in Sassa. He has no plans to return to St. James anytime soon.
You talked to him? How is he doing? Doesn't he need his castle fixed? He's always tearing it. There isn't a pew or a step he hasn't tripped over at one time or another.
As I said, he's doing just fine.
Good luck, then. God bless. Beneath thy mercy we take refuge.
I chose a cook as well. Should I tell you or go to Hag?
Tell me who you chose and I'll take care of it.
I chose old Agnes for the cook's job. I had a job convincing her, but it was worth it. She's the best cook around.
Glad to hear it. I'll have to drop in on Hagen for lunch sometime.
Master Baby, is there anything of interest going on here?
Don't even talk to me.
May the Lord watch over you.
Good day to you.
The bailiff sent me.
That's another matter then. What do you need, friend?
Is it possible to find out from the records where someone lives?
You think we keep records of every serf? For Christ's sake, they breed like rabbits.
But I thought that in the rat house, though, in the books...
Boy, the books are for recording pacts, undertakings, punishments, property rights, and so forth. In other words, important things. We don't keep records of serfs.
Elishka won't be happy about that.
Elishka? You don't mean the one who married into the Mishek family?
Yes. Yes, you know her.
Why wouldn't I? I used to play dice with old Mishek years ago. He had a son. A nice, polite lad. How is he?
Oh, you know, he's quite tied up these days.
Well, if you see him, tell him to swing by.
And where are the Misheks living now?
A stone's throw from Rattay by the small fish pond.
Thanks.
Farewell.
Vengo Roman Ridus. Me equivoqué de camino. Sí. Me equivoqué de camino. Bueno, pero puedo bajar por aquí. ¿Sí o no? Sí. A ver. Sí, cerquita ya.
What do you want?
I've got information about your daughter-in-law. Elishka's fine, only she needs
Never heard of her. Get lost.
She's your nearest kin. Elishka's part of your family. She really needs you.
I won't help anyone.
I could make it worth your while.
Really? And what is it you want?
Your son's widow needs help. She has nowhere to go.
What do I care about some useless girl?
She could help you with the farm. She definitely knows how to take care of things.
A bit of help would come in handy. Send her here then, but don't let her think she'll be taking it easy. She'll have her work cut out.
That sounds quite...
And if I hear a peep out of her, I'll take a stick to her back.
Fine salvation this is.
Reduce. Normando. José Andrés. Qué buena
Get off, or I'll give you what for.
Marta María. Glenn. Norman Reedus. Joder, ¿qué ha pasado aquí? Me cago en todo. José Andrés. Mira. Ya. Bichón. A ver. Bueno, pues vamos bien.
Ya.
Bueno, esto es bueno. Que vaya descubriendo cosas que le tengo que llevar a un tío unos 55 costillas de bichos de estos.
Ya.
Ya empezamos, ya empezamos.
Ya. Ya. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
A ver.
You're not crying now?
I'm not. I've wept enough for a lifetime.
It's a bit of a change since my last visit.
I haven't had much luck in my life, but I've always worked things out in the end. Tears are no help to anything.
That's true.
So, did you find out something about them?
I did. I found your husband's father and mother, and they're willing to take you in.
But...
They're not very nice people, Ilishka. They probably work you to the bone. But you would get fed.
Life is never easy. But at least I'd have a family.
You're right. I'll have another talk with Herman.
Take care.
Ilishka's looking better.
She is, but she's not happy. God sent the poor girl great trials.
Indeed.
Did you know her whole family was wiped out by the plague? She was barely 12.
Losing your family isn't easy.
Ah, sorry, I wasn't thinking. So, did you find out anything about that kin of hers?
I have. I tracked them down. They say they take her in, but I'm not sure she'd do well there.
Leave that to her. I just hope she'll be better off than now.
I've heard the way you talk about her, and would you like Ilishka to stay?
You know how she was always the sweetest girl. When she came with her family to retire, still single, she was a sight to behold. And it might surprise you, but she even had a word or two for me now and again. It grieved me when she married that wastrel. It was a foolish idea, but I always thought maybe she and I could... Well, fate likes a good laugh. Now I've strung up her old man. I have her under my roof. After all the years I was thinking of her. I don't want her to leave, but I don't want her to be unhappy here either.
May the Lord watch over you.
You made your mind up?
I can't decide. I don't know Mishivskin at all. But at least I'd have a family.
Herman could give you a family, too.
He's a decent, upright fellow. I've met none better, and that's the honest truth. But he's an executioner.
And what's the problem? That the other women won't chat with you down at the creek? Did that sort of gossip ever interest you anyway? He's a fine man, isn't he? He's willing to take care of you, and he has the means to do it, and he wants you. He's so sick with love for you, he can't even sleep.
But did he really say that?
He told me he's been in love with you for years. He said he always thought you were the sweetest girl in Ratai.
That's true. We used to meet now and again and exchange a few words. Well, he always treated me nicely. By all that's holy, you're right. I'll stay here. Take care. Herman?
Yes?
Can I stay here with you?
You mean for good?
If you don't want me to.
You can! By God, you can! You've made me the happiest man in the world.
Thank you, Henry. I've a feeling with Herman I can finally find some happiness.
You will. The two of you are made for each other.
Thank you, Hal. Thank you.
Think nothing of it. The main thing is, everything worked out well.
It did, thank you. And I want you to have this. God Almighty, I've got Alishka. After all these years, me, the executioner, has the woman he loves.
¿Esta qué misión que es? Vamos a guardar, que no hemos guardado. Vamos a continuar de secundarias. Hasta que no las haga todas por aquí no puedo seguir. A todo esto, a este tengo algo para venderle. A ver. De armas. No. Todo esto está para vender. No sé si se lo podré vender a este. A ver. Esto es robado. A ver. Hablar.
Good health to you.
I've got some goods here whose owners might miss them.
All right. Let's see what we can do about that.
No, no se lo puedo vender, no es robado. Ah, sí, está aquí. Vale. Cortales cubanos, esto lo he puesto, pues esto. De armas, compañero fiel. No, no. Ganzúas. Este me interesa, pero cuando sepa leer. Cerrar trato.
Let's have a word about the price.
Well, we can try it.
A ver. 220.
Aye, that would do it.
Bueno, voy a dejar esto aquí. Que tengo que andar con pies de plomo. A ver, abrir. Inventario, armas. Otros. Mover. Vale. 16 ganzúas, vale. Cohetos. Corazones. Artículos de armas. Compañero del mercenario. El escudo no lo utilizo. A ver si... Bueno. Esto lo vamos a vender. Todo esto está robado. No me gustan las cofias. Esto está roto. Ricantina. Vamos a vendérselo, a ver si lo podemos vender todo. Hablar. Hablar. No te me vayas. Joder. Hacer cosas
I've got some
raras.
goods here whose owners might miss them.
All right. Let's see what we can do about that.
Antorchas 2. $1300, vale. Comprar.
Can we do something about the price?
All right, son.
Here. And something for your trouble.
Well, now. Thank you very much.
Bueno, vale. A ver. Aquí tengo una misión, yo no.
Henry, I'm so glad to see you.
I've brought you something.
Oh, Hal. Is this for me? This must have cost you a fortune. But I like it very much, thank you. You really mustn't bring me any more gifts like that, or you'll spoil me.
Teresa, I brought you something.
My, Hal. How chivalrous. That's lovely. Thank you so much.
What now? Shall we take a walk?
You don't give up, do you? Well, let me think. I've got lots to do right now. But I'd love to go another time. Will you come and see me again?
As her ladyship commands.
You jester.
I'd like to know... That's all.
Que el Peter vino con un manrido. Bueno, pues nada. Al caballo. Que me caigo. Al revés. Joder.
Ya.
Por aquí no me deja.
Yeah. Yeah.
Joder.
Yeah.